that first start up, I'm about to let it run for a while. I want to make sure there's no leaks. And then after leaks check, then it's going to be on just to see what them temperatures looking like after it's sitting for a while. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. Straight on there, but I mean, it looked like it's trying to do a little something, but it ain't leaking. So it's about 100 degrees outside today. It's been running for about 15 minutes and it's sitting at about 140. I just got in the car and put it into drive, put it into neutral, put it into reverse. Sitting on the two-step actually makes the transmission hotter, but it looked like it's settling right at 170, 171. Like it's not spiking like it was before. So maybe this thing does work a whole lot better, and that's with no airflow. Like, you know, basically sat here, no airflow, 15-20 minutes. Just did the two-step, goes up to 172. It looks like where it stopped now, and still no airflow. And it's 100 degrees outside. So yeah, I guess I'm liking this. End result of getting one of these 40K coolers is probably okay, probably a good idea. And now it's going back down. The temperature it's already back down to 170. Might have been a good move. And I can imagine it only gets better when I'm driving, because then that airflow is coming through and hitting it. So that's a good move. If you got space for one, or don't mind finding space for one, might be a good idea to get it. Yeah, so that temperature then dropped even more. It's back in the 160s. So I did not know, I mean, I knew what a cooler is, but I did not know that, you know, they can work that much better than the other ones, I guess, even without airflow. So now I'm excited to see exactly what happens now that that intercooler is getting airflow, because it was never getting any real airflow. So now that it's getting some airflow, my intake temperatures are going to go down. Maybe that changes some things. That'll be good to see. And now I need to see exactly what's going to happen when this transmission cooler gets some airflow, because it might put these temperatures back down into the low hundreds, which might not be a good thing. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Still running from the first go round, and I don't see any leaks. You know, all that stuff that's back there, you see, was already down there. But I mean, from like this area, yeah, none of this new stuff is leaking. I like what that does. That thing actually, it does make a difference. So that's pretty cool. since it wasn't leaking, I put the grill back on, or at least the pieces of the grill that are still left. I need to get some new pieces. This part's fine, but I need another one of those and another one of those, and some screws. But since it wasn't leaking, I put that back on. Now we just gotta wait for, or I'm gonna wait for this 100, feels like 115 degree weather to for the sun to go down and for it to feel like 85 degree weather at night, because it is blazing hot where I am now in this Houston area. So we're gonna wait for that, then we're gonna take a ride and see what happens then. Line temp after I pulled over is up to 161. Before I pulled over, it was at like while I'm riding down the street, I guess getting some extra air going through them fins, it was at like 156. So I think that transmission cooler is working. I'm gonna do a log comparison, but I'm almost certain I would have been over 200 degrees at this point right here, especially now that I have pulled over and started just sat here for a few minutes. I'm happy about that. But now I'm gonna do a two-step check, see what it does to the temperature, and then I'm gonna roll around a little bit more and kind of just go from there and see what happens. So here's a data log. I think this was actually maybe the last log that I ran before deciding to change this cooler. But you can see here, after a ride, and even when moving, like right now, I'm doing 67 miles per hour, 66 miles per hour. Even when moving, meaning air is going straight through that old intercooler. After a ride, I'm sitting at 209, 208, 207, 206. 207, 211. So you can see that line temp, 211, 205 minimum, 212 max, 208 average. It's just after rolling around and while rolling around. So that air was hitting that intercooler and line temp's still pretty high. Oh man, look at that. 157, 159. 157, 156, 55, 54, 53. Those line temps. 152 minimum, 160 max, 156 average. That's big difference. So that thing is doing its job. 156 average from, what was that, basically 210 average. Man, that's like 50 degrees. That thing is doing what everybody else said. That's 50-degree difference. I know it was just as hot that night, and I probably rode around, might even rode around longer this time. But yeah, that thing was doing its job. So I did a ride after doing the two-step check. Oh, this one. This was after the two-step, so the transmission had got hot. Let's say its hottest point is, what is that, 182, 183? 183 is its max. After riding for a couple of minutes, you can see it starts dropping again. 174, 177, 176,
178. And then I guess it finally kind of hit that stride where it was really getting a lot of that warm, that hot fluid out in through there. 173, 172, 171. This is after a two-step check. Just doing normal, regular driving again. Still shifting through the gears and everything. Then let me see. Sensors, manifold air temp. Oh, it had got hot. 126. And then by the end of it, it was 94. So back down to the minimum. Back down to that low range. So both of those changes doing their thing. That air hitting that intercooler after all that, and then that transmission line temp. Yeah, I'm super happy about that. Matter of fact, let's check one more thing. So 725, 725. See, let's see what this one is. I think this is after transmission temp. Oh yeah, this is for sure after two-step check. Look at that, 211, 217. I mean, temps got up to 222. Golly. 222 average 216. This is after a two-step check. So, two-step check on this one afterwards 216. The other one, it was in the 170s. That's 50 degrees. 45, 50 degrees. I like this thing. It did everything. It's doing. I ain't gonna say it did. It's doing what they said it was gonna do. I think that's gonna help out a lot. Both of those changes, I believe, gonna help out a lot when I'm hitting up the track.
Alright, so I didn't quite believe it, so I had to take another ride. But I decided to take another ride. The car probably been running now for probably about, I don't know, 45 minutes maybe. And it's actually been sitting right here in this spot for another 10. So, go Rattlers. It's been sitting in this spot for another 10 minutes. Let's look and see what it says. Oh yeah, transmission line temp is at 151. Yeah, so that thing putting in some work compared to what was happening before anyway. That transmission cooler is working. In most places, we talking 40 to 50 degree difference. So going from pretty much baking transmission fluid to now it being within operational range, even after doing something like a two-step check, and after sitting for 10 15 minutes and then doing a two-step check, I'm really going to enjoy that. I think that's going to make it a whole lot better as far as when I need to refresh it and everything like that. It should help the transmission last a little longer between refresh. And then the intake air temp, that helps the temperatures drop so much faster after we get rolling again. So I think that's going to help too, because after the car's been on the chip, let go of the button, start rolling down the track, those temperatures get down. That's going to help out with more more top end. So I think both of those things are going to pay huge dividends moving forward, especially when we're on the track. Next, we need to get back on something I almost forgot, but need to get back on the fuel pump voltage. Making sure that fuel pump voltage don't go down, figuring out what we need to do about that, because I've already changed those wires and upgraded that. So need to see whatever it is that's going on, get that fixed. That way the fuel pressure stays high and increases with the increase in boost. So if we can get that together, then we'll be back straight and ready to go,
chop some heads off since we've been working on our reaction times. But until then, I'm holla at y'all.